What it do, YouTube watchers? My name is JG, and I have multiple sclerosis. So I've been really bad, feeling bad for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't even know. I haven't made a video or anything in a while. So I wanted to get into this. It's Now let's just get into it. MS, the gut, and dishwasher detergents and rinse aids coming from multiple sclerosis. Even so, it is well. Alright, here we go.
70% of our immune systems resides in our gut. And there's more and more research coming out about the health of our gut microbiome and its link to MS. So when I got a question from one of my viewers about the safety of dishwasher detergents and rinse aids for our gut lining, my curiosity was piqued. There seems to be a lot of social media posts recently about the dangers of rinse aids and how we should be avoiding them. Could our dishwasher actually be affecting our gut health and even our MS symptoms? I know, it sounds a little dramatic, but a recent study has people asking exactly that. So let's break it down. No fear, no hype, just what the science actually says. I took a look at the research and I'm going to share what I found. First, there is very, very little research in this area. I actually could only find 2 studies on this topic. And the study that seems to be getting the most attention and causing the most alarm is from 2023. Gut epithelial barrier damage caused by dishwasher detergents and rinse aids. Well, that's a scary title, isn't it? It seems to say right there in the title that they cause damage. Not so fast. Let's look a little deeper. Researchers took a look at the chemicals used in dishwasher detergents and rinse aids, the stuff that makes our dishes dry spot-free. Let's start with the conclusion, shall we? In it, they say damage was caused by rinse aid in concentrations used in professional dishwashers. 2 things of note here. First, the conclusion is only about rinse aids, not detergents, which were included in the title. And second, it's in concentrations used in professional dishwashers, not what we're using in our homes and in our kitchens. What they did find was surprising, though. They said that those chemicals were able to damage gut cells, weaken the gut barrier, and trigger inflammation signals. Our gut barrier is essentially our body's security system. It's supposed to let in things that we need and keep out things that we don't. It's kind of important to keep us healthy. So, how did they do the test? It was an in vitro study, which means in glass, as opposed to in vivo, which means in life, in living things like mice or humans. The test was done on cells in a lab. Specifically, they were investigating the effects of professional dishwasher detergent and rinse aid on gut on a chips. Gut on a chip. Worst appetizer ever. In vitro studies are good for understanding how cells react in the short term, but they're not really representative of the whole living being like mice or people. They can't replicate the complex physiological interactions like metabolism or long-term effects in real life. I looked for in vivo studies on these rinse aids and I could not find any. Not one. The study did find that the residue from rinse aids left on dishes from professional dishwashers using concentrations used in those types of machines did affect the guts on a chip. The risk from residue from rinse aids on industrial dishwashers might be disruptive to our guts. But, and this is incredibly important, the test was done in a lab, not on humans, gut on a chip. Another thing that caught my eye when I was reading this study was it was done using one type of each dishwasher, industrial and household. So one type of dishwasher left residue that affects the gut on a chip. Doesn't seem very comprehensive or thorough. The findings are interesting, but not proven. The risk seems incredibly small and unlikely, in my opinion. If you are concerned about the chemical in rinse aids potentially causing harm, you can avoid them. The chemical is called alcohol ethoxylates. We can use rinse aids that don't have them. I did a quick search, and there are brands that are more natural and use plant based alternatives. Check out 7th Generation Rinse Aid, Nature Clean Dishwasher Rinse Aid, and E-Cover Rinse Aid. I did see some people recommending using vinegar in the dishwasher in the rinse aid compartment, but I would not recommend that because the vinegar is too acidic for the gaskets in our dishwashers and they may damage our dishwashers. And the other option is to not use a rinse aid at all and simply live with water spots on our dishes. I want to shift focus for a moment because this is where our power actually is. Instead of worrying about tiny exposures, let's look at the big picture. If we're concerned about the health of our guts, there are things that do pose a risk in our everyday life. According to this article published by Harvard Health, modern life may actually be the main driver of gut inflammation. There is emerging evidence that the standard American diet, which is low in fiber and high in sugar and saturated fats, may initiate this process, and heavy alcohol use and stress also seem to disrupt this balance. These are all things that impact the health of our guts, and they're much more of a threat to our guts than the residue on dishes from an industrial dishwasher. Our gut health is really important when we live with MS. Some studies show that leaky gut may be associated with other autoimmune diseases, lupus, type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis. There are things that we can do to make our guts stronger and more resilient. The biggest impact on our gut health and our MS is going to come from our daily habits. We can eat more whole food, fiber-rich, plant-focused foods. 90 to 95% of us are not getting enough fiber in our diets. Feeding the gut microbiome with high fiber, isoflavin, low salt, low sugar, and low fat diet can positively influence the disease course via modulation.
You know, the weird thing is, like fiber, I can't have it because of my gastroparesis, and it really sucks. But I try to eat a low sugar and just low salt. I don't put salt on anything, but I try to do what I can do.
Of the immune system. Moving our body consistently and regularly can also help. Exercise training beneficially influences MS disease through a positive effect on gut bacteria. Prioritizing sleep can help our circadian rhythms and our guts. Findings suggest that increased microbial diversity is associated with better sleep health. And finally, being mindful of other factors that can impact our gut health. There are all kinds of things that can affect our gut and its health, including hygiene, diet, stress, antibiotic use, temperature, noise, and pollutants that can influence the formation of the gut microbiota,
Noise?
potentially leading to systemic and gastrointestinal inflammation and the increased risk of inflammatory disorders. All of these have far more
Once again, like I'm only able to eat certain kind of foods, and it's hard for me to find a to eat like a say 3 course, 4 course meal, anything like that. It's just really hard for me to find any food that's that I can eat with my gastroparesis, but that's just me. So
evidence behind them than any one environmental exposure, like the tiny amounts of rinse aid left on dishes from one industrial dishwasher using industrial strength rinse aids. So, no, our dishwasher is not the villain in our MS story. But questioning rinse aids is a really interesting reminder of something bigger. Our environment matters, and our daily habits matter more. To see more on the gut microbiome, watch these videos next. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with others using the share icon below the video. And until next time, be well.
well, as you can tell, I have really low low energy today. It's terrible. But I hope you guys got something out of this video. I hope you did. At least listen to her. She knows what she's talking about. It sounds like it anyway. Um, till next time, guys. Be good. I'll be good at it.